a story about Ope Bademosi, who was murdered in cold blood by his cook. We have joining us at the moment a friend of the deceased, Olumide Ajomale, to tell us more about the life of Ope Bademosi. Thank you very much indeed for joining us this hour.
Thank you very much.
Right, well, you were friends with Ope Bademosi, who was chairman of Credit Smooth Technology, a father of 4. Would you know any reason why a cook would kill this man?
Indeed, this is a strange development. We're all trying to put together what could have gone wrong. This was totally out of character. Chief Ope Bademosi was like a big brother. We worship in the same church, Archbishop Vining Memorial Church Cathedral. And for years, we were members of the same fellowship group. I have known him over the years to be such a gentleman, soft-spoken, ever smiling. And when the news broke yesterday, you know, like they say, he was the last person that I would ever think that this was a way for him to leave this part of the world. It's sad. It's our hearts are really, really grieved at this moment.
Well, we apologize and, of course, share in your grief. We pray that the deceased will rest in peace now, despite this gruesome nature of his death. But tell us more about Bademosi. I mean, what kind of man was he?
He was a very warm person, very sociable. In the circles in Ondo town, was well regarded. He held a prominent chieftaincy title, and he'd been also involved in the development of Ondo town. So he was a well-known Ondo person. But then even here in Lagos, beyond his business exploits, he's also had loads of friends, very sociable. And he's always somebody who had the heart of God. Like I said, we worship in the same church.
Right.
And again, it's difficult to begin to talk about him in past tense.
Well, the information that we have is that the man whom they employed as a cook, very little is known about him. Not much was documented about the individual as well. Well, as friends with Bademosi, was he one you thought would go into things like this without proper, documentation?
Well, a lot of this is sitting in the realm of speculation right now, and I don't have all the details. But you know what happens around here? We're slow in doing a few things. We like to catch up on things later. Again, until the full story is known, I wouldn't want to speculate on what could have gone amiss as to how the identity of this person doesn't seem to be fully comprehended. I'm sure as things unfold, we'll get to the bottom of this. But like I said, this is odd, simply odd. Somebody will pick up 3 days and then he strikes in a deadly manner.
Well, the police has assured of that it will do all it takes now to find Sunday and perhaps his accomplices. But then Ope Bademosi, businessman and socialite, lived in the Parkview estate in the Ikoyi part of Lagos. And we understand there's the third incident in that estate as well. Is there any information perhaps that you would know of perhaps the security situation there? How how good is the security operatives in that area?
Well, Parkview is closely knit and fairly secure neighborhood. Again, obviously, by the time this fellow was escaping, he probably walked out and would have looked like a normal person going on an errand. So this again isn't so much about the security apparatus and the estates. I think we've just come to a time when we're getting into a bit more violence in our environment. And I overheard somebody say this morning that this is one of the symptoms of the have-nots rising up against the haves. Some of the consequences of living in the times that we are. Again, whether you...
So you don't think it was a case of perhaps he was sent?
I'm not sure. Again, this is all speculation.
Right.
Look, people pick up stewards, cooks. I've had my steward with me for over 11 years. So I'm a testimonial of someone who can tell you that I've had people who have lived with me that I'm literally free with. And I'm saying this from a point of reality.
Right.
So something went wrong in this instance. I'm not sure it's so much about, again, casting aspersion as to what part of the world they came from. We've had incidences that has happened because Nigerians have done the same heinous crime. But I think it just speaks to a time in our environment where things are just getting out of hand. This is really sad. And these commentaries are becoming almost common occurrence in everyday encounters.
All right, Olumide Ajomale, we empathize with you losing your high-profile friend in the person of Ope Bademosi, and we do also pray that God will grant the family the fortitude to bear the loss. Thank you very much for talking to us.